Welcome in to this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. On today's show, we'll bring you product reviews from top pros and much more that'll help you catch more fish. From iCast in Orlando, Florida, to on the water at Lake Hartwell in Anderson, South Carolina, some of the top pros in the sport are here to help educate you. We start by hearing from professional angler Jason Christie as he shares his thoughts on the Garmin Force Pro trolling motor, specifically the reverse thrust feature after using it earlier this year.
Hey guys, Jason Christie here. I'm going to talk about the new Force Pro. So I almost have a year now of using this, from Okeechobee to Lake Fork, grass to no grass to current, all of that stuff. And I'll be the first to tell you that flawless. Everything's worked perfectly. It's lived up to the hype that was around the motor when it was released. The difference between the Force Pro and the old Force, the main thing that you're going to see is the reverse feature. The reverse feature is used in anchor lock, which is, compared to the old Force, is spot on. I was just fishing a offshore event where I was anchor locking over structure, fishing for fish, and I mean, kept me on the spot. So what we want to talk about is the reverse feature. Like I said, it's used in anchor lock, but also if you're going down the bank and you get grass, if you like to fish grass a lot and it bogs up, it's a simple one button push, double tap, and you'll see it light up here red. That puts it in reverse. It's great for blowing grass off. When you rather than having to pull your trolling motor up and clean it, you put it reverse, blow it off, right back to forward. Also, a lot of us now, we like to LiveScope, look for fish. Well, whenever you see one, you're able to hit reverse and keep the scope on the fish and be able to back up, keep your distance, and be able to catch it. So my review after a year is A+. I wish there was a higher review, because that's what I would do. I would give it the highest grade that I could give it. So I'm 100% satisfied, and I know you will be too.
Along with its lineup of force trolling motors, Garmin has many other innovative, industry-leading products. One of those is LiveScope. A new addition to LiveScope is the extended range transducer, allowing anglers to see this technology up to several hundred feet.
Hey, Justin Hamner, we're here at the Garmin booth, and we're going to talk about something that you might not have heard of. This is the 62 XR transducer. It's a LiveScope transducer that's super long range. Look, I was using this thing, shooting out 300 foot, being able to actually see fish. When you have it that far out, you're not seeing the very detail like you do with the normal transducer, but able to see just schools of bait, schools of fish, open water. This thing is phenomenal. Whenever you need to see that long distance, check out the 62. This thing, it's a game changer.
It's time now for our first break in the show. When we return, we continue to show you more products and tips from top pros that'll help you be a more successful angler. Stay tuned for more. To see more great content and take your fishing skills to the next level, subscribe to the Fisherman's Handbook YouTube channel. Here you'll find how-to videos, product features, and in-depth breakdowns that'll help you catch more fish. Just scan the QR code on the screen now and subscribe. Welcome back to this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. Anglers are occasionally looking for an advantage to get more bites. One way to do this is by adding scent to your baits. Nories offers several options, including both the bite powder and bite liquid. Let's learn more about these products now.
Hello, I'm Taku Ito, Bass Pro Pro. This is a Nories Bite Powder USA. So this powder is Taku's secret powder. So this one is Japan quality and more get a bite. So Fish Lab this super powder. So I always use like this box and or so this box and put in the box all the powder. Just like put it in there, so a lot of powder on it. And close the box and shake it. So of course the box is okay and Nories soft bait package is okay, but so always I shake a lot and soft bait change like cover the powder, so more fish eat well, more bites. So tournament very important. This Taku bite powder USA.
Hey guys, Drew Cook, we're here at ICAST. We've had the bite powder for a couple of years now, and there was one thing missing. It was Taku's bite liquid. Both of those put together, the smallmouth and really any bass just can't stand it. So now, available in the US, we have Taku bite liquid to go along with that bite powder. Mix those both together. You don't have to let them wait for a year. You can use it right after you do it. I'm really loving this stuff and the bite powder put together. It's getting a lot more bites. Make any soft plastic you have scented. Make sure you check these out.
From January through December, the feeding pattern and location of fish change based upon the seasons, conditions, and weather. It's important for anglers to be armed with baits that can be utilized to fit the given scenario. When it comes to being geared up with the right lures, SPRO has you covered. We hear about several of SPRO's great fish-catching baits now.
Caleb Summerall here, SPRO Pro. Talk to you guys about something that's near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite techniques in the world, and that's frog fishing. You can see here, as by my SPRO box here, I have a wide assortment of SPRO bronze eye 60s, even the baby poppers. When you got a box like this in your boat, its box never leaves my boat. I don't care where I go across the country, there's always fish eating a frog, and I keep it honest, that's for sure. This frog is amazing. It gets play all over the country, like I said, from upstate New York to South Florida. This frog here is just known for getting big bites. There's a wide assortment of colors, different sizes as well. I want to say there's 4 to 5 different sizes. My favorite is the 60. There's also the baby popper that also gets a lot of play in my boat. It's a great frog. You got a bunch of different colors of this frog. If you really want to match the hatch, you got frog imitators, you got bluegill imitators, you got your dark and your whites. But with that being said, it's got great Gamakatsu hooks in it and just a total big fish getter. You'll be sure to head over to SPRO, check out all the cool colors, and get you a couple frogs.
Hey guys, Drew Cook, SPRO Pro here. I want to talk to you about the new cover jumper. It's a bladed jig from SPRO, and it is very unique. It got the name cover jumper because it is very weedless. You can reel this over wood, stuff like that. It doesn't get hung up near as bad. It's a high-riding, vibrating jig. It's a unique wobble, unique sound that the bass haven't seen before, and it really will get you some bites that if you're fishing around other people with vibrating jigs, this one is gonna get you some bites behind those people. I really like it because it's got a nice big Gamakatsu hook in it. You know, the hookup that was probably the one thing about a vibrating jig when they first came out. It was fish losing thing. So now we have these nice hooks in them. You know, everything's a lot better. You can actually take a crawl type bait, put it on this thing and wake it almost. Fish it like a swim jig around cover, and it's not gonna get hung up. So make sure you check out the SPRO cover jumper the next time you go to throw a blade jig.
Welcome back to this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. Flipping heavy cover is a great way to get bites throughout the year. This technique requires very specific gear to ensure your success in hooking and landing those fish. We break down the ideal lines for flipping, as well as demonstrate how to tie a punching rig.
I'm Kyle Welcher, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. We're here with Sunline today, and I'm gonna talk to y'all about my favorite technique, especially to fish tournaments. You know, it's got to be flipping. I basically qualified for the Elites flipping in every single tournament in the Opens, and it's just been something that's near and dear to my heart, but I keep it super simple as far as line choices, and have a lot of people ask me which line to choose. For me, it's always something in the shooter family that I'm going to use for flipping. You know, one line that I've really kind of fell in love with lately is the Overtex line. You know, it's got the same properties as shooter as far as abrasion resistance, sensitivity, and low stretch, but it's got a plasma rise coating on it, which means it casts better. It's even more abrasion resistant than the old shooter, and it's just super slick and comes off the reel super efficiently. So this is one that I've really started to like, but for me, 99% of the time, for the past few years, it's been 100% shooter, 16 all the way up to 25-pound test. You know, and I tailor everything based on it. I think about the line as part of the system, and it's a tool in the system. And for me, I'm gonna tailor it to the rod, the bait, the kind of cover I'm flipping. And you know, right here I've got 16-pound Overtex, and I'm going to downsize my rod whenever I'm flipping 16. I'm gonna have a lighter weight, a thinner wire hook typically, and I'm gonna have lighter line, and then I'm gonna have a 7'3" medium heavy. That's what I'm gonna flip around sparse cover, maybe like dock poles, floating docks, anything like that. Sometimes I'm flipping to rocks and, you know, rock shelves and bluffs. This is kind of the setup I like for that. And then I'll go all the way up to 18, 20, 22, depending on the actual density of the cover that I'm trying to fish. So one of my main rods that I keep rigged up all the time is a big flipping rod. And that's the one that I kind of lean on, and I've always got it laying on the front deck, and it's gonna have, as a standard, 22-pound Sunline shooter. And to me, that gives me plenty of strength for getting them out of cover, no matter if it's sawdust mats, big laydown trees, pine trees, it's got the pine cones all over it. I know whenever I hook one in this, I'm not gonna break it off and I'm gonna land that fish. So this is when I'm flipping a 7'6" heavy, a big Gamakatsu G-Power hook, it's gonna be the 22-pound Sunline shooter. But I just wanted to kind of go over and touch on the properties of the line that I'm looking for flipping, and how I kind of tailor it to the situation that I'm in. But you gotta think of it as a tool and part of a system, and that's the line choices for me in flipping year round.
Hey, what's up guys? Sunline Pro Wes Logan here. I want to take a little bit of time to talk to you about one of my favorite techniques, a way to catch a bass, and it's punching grass. And I'm going to make a punching setup and show you how I do it. It's very simple. Basically all it is, it's going to be a bobber stop or a weight stop, a heavy tungsten weight, and a flipping hook. So there's really not a whole lot to it. You're going to get your bobber stop here. I call it a bobber stop, weight stop, however you want to say it. But they have little loops in them, and all you're going to do is just run that line through one of those loops. And it's very simple. You just grab the stop and it comes onto the braided line just like that. It's very simple, there's nothing to it. You're gonna wanna pull it up your line, set that off to the side, get your weight. I have a 1 ounce arc tungsten here, just your basic tungsten weight. Slide it on, get the line through there. I like to get a little bit of distance from the weight to the end of my line for when I tie my knot. I got a Gamakatsu straight shank flipping hook here. It's a 4/0, a 3/0, 4/0 is normally the size that I use. I tie a snell knot whenever I'm punching. Basically all you're gonna do is come through the top, make a loop on the bottom of the hook, and then you're just gonna make wraps on the shank of the hook right below the eyelet. So you'll just make like 5 wraps. So I just take it with my finger, roll it, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish on the bottom, and you'll have a loop right here where your fingers are. And you're just gonna take that tag in, pull it through that loop. I grab it with my teeth. You just wanna get tension on that tag in, and then tension on the main line, and you're gonna have that right there. You'll cut this tag end off. Get your Gamakatsu cutters here. Cut it right there. And then you're gonna run your tungsten down to the hook. Make sure you take your weight stop and pull it all the way down. You don't want it completely snug. You want there to be a little bit of play in the weight, because if you tighten it all the way down, your hook's gonna look like that, and you don't want that. So have a little bit of distance, just, you know, 1/8 of an inch or something. And basically the reason I like to use that snell knot is when that weight hits the hook, it kicks the hook up like that. So you get a lot better hookup ratio in that thicker stuff. But that's basically what it is, guys. And then you're gonna rig up one of your favorite flipping baits. It's very simple, it's a very fun way to fish. It's a way to catch some really big fish, especially if you're around a lot of batted vegetation. But that's your basic punching setup, and go give it a try, you'll catch some big ones.
Welcome back to this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. From tackle storage boxes to tools and high-performance hooks for both fresh and salt water, Gamakatsu has you covered. Let's learn more now about some of those great product offerings.
Hey guys, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro Drew Benton here to talk to you a little bit about feathered treble hooks, when to use them, when I use them, and why. Basically for me, it's any time I'm throwing a topwater that has any kind of walking action. And the reason for that, number one, is it just gives that bait a little bit more lifelike action. It almost makes it a jointed bait because every time that bait walks back and forth, that feathered treble almost looks like a tail action behind the bait. Another positive to this is sometimes when they hit a walking bait so hard, they can actually spin that treble around and kind of miss the hook, and that little bit of drag behind that keeps that hook back there just a little bit longer for that fish to get a hold of it and get hooked really well. The other time I really like to do it is on a wake bait. A wake bait is a must for a feathered treble hook. This thing is night and day, looks so much more realistic, especially looking up whenever it's swimming through there with a feathered treble versus not a feathered treble hook on the back. It still looks good without a feathered treble, but it takes it to a different level. Whether I'm throwing the Zero Minnow or the Zero Swimmer by SPRO, I always put a feathered treble on the back. I do it on poppars. Any kind of bait, again, that walks, you want that extra action to it. Another time that I use it is when those fish are keyed in on tiny, tiny bait fish. I'm throwing a clear bait. I put that feather on the back of it and it gives those fish something tiny to key on, but still allows you to make a long cast and cover a bunch of water. Be sure to try these feathered techniques next time you're throwing topwaters, and they'll put more fish in your boat.
Hi, Ted with Gamakatsu here, just to show you a few of our new pliers. So pliers that we have are really some unique features to them. They're stainless steel. There's a PTFE coating, which is just a fine coating to help them prevent corrosion, that type of thing on the pliers. One of my favorite features about it is the outside line cutter that you see here, which is really handy when you're going to cut line and those types of things. And I really like that when you're going to cut the line because it makes it very easy. This is 80-pound braid that we have here to put it inside, and you can see it cuts it effortlessly. It's got a split ring opener at the top, as you can see here. And the jaws are angled. This particular one is our 9-inch that has a 45-degree bend in the pliers, which makes it really nice, especially for those toothy fish in saltwater. So you can get down inside there and get the hooks out of your fish very easily. The grips that are on here make a nice non-slip type grip application. So if your hands are slippery or you have fish slime on your hands, they're still going to be able to allow you to get a real good grip on them. So we have that on all of our pliers. That's a particular feature. They also come with a lanyard and a sheath, so you can actually have them on your hip to be able to store them easily. So these are really a very nice addition to the boat to help you catch more fish. The other thing that's really innovative, this is one of my favorite things we've came out with, is the ceramic braid scissors. These ceramic braid scissors, the cool part about these is they'll never rust. There's a serrated edge on them, so they'll grab braid very easily. And they're nice and small and compact. I really like that because they fit the hand very, very well. So as you can see, I've got some braid here, and this is 80-pound braid. And this particular one, when you go to cut it, as you can see, it cuts it very effortlessly. So these things work great, they're handy. No more reaching for rusty old scissors that don't work when it's time to cut line. So you can find these at gamakatsu.com. All the pliers, tools, hooks, everything's available there on our website.
That will conclude this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. From Garmin electronics to Gamakatsu hooks, Nories bite powder, fishing line from Sunline, and baits for all seasons with SPRO. We hope that you gained useful knowledge and insight to help you on your next fishing adventure. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. This has been a Carico TV production.